Warning.
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 Warning. You are entering into the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. Too late. Personal Development Unplugged.
Hey friend, 5-minute quickie, and as you know, I tend to, I do always. I always ask, would you share the podcast, share the episode, because it does help. And what I thought was, although I always share episodes of other podcasts to my friends, my family, certainly my sons, who I think it'd really help, I thought today I'd just share the type of podcasts that I think are really good. They certainly help me, and they're something I look forward to. So they are pretty popular, I think. So maybe they're nothing too exciting, but they are really, really good. And the first one is a guy called Chris Williamson. I got my phone here because I need it for this. But he is brilliant because it's called the Modern Wisdom Podcast. Now, as with all things, some of the guests don't resonate. But with this guy, most of them do. But the most important thing for me is he is so thoughtful, so articulate. I would really love to be that articulate with the use of words and his thoughts. So that's one you really ought to look, well, not you ought to, but if you wanted to, you could look for and see what comes up. You've got things like the Chase Jarvis, what's it called? Chase Jarvis Live Podcast. Now, Chase Jarvis was a photographer, but he's a creative, and he brings on creative people. And I love that creativity and intuitive creativity. But he seems to be a rock solid guy. Very, very honest. So I love that one. One very similar to that is a guy called Lewis Howes with The School of Greatness. Again, not all the same, but he used to be like a super duper college football guy and things like that. Turned himself into this wonderful podcast guy, business and things like that. But it just gets guessed. But he is so grounded. And it just seems to, again, find the right balance of guests to come along. There's a great one I love to listen to, and that's the Mark Devine Show, an ex-Navy SEAL, who not only is in the big, strong Navy SEAL stuff, but also into spiritual awareness, meditation, intuitive, inside, unconscious, all the stuff we do here. And I love that. I love that, to see someone who has, been in the forefront of battle and now realizing that there's so much more to us that makes us the people we are. And that's awesome. So have a little look at that one. What else have I got? If you like more talking, I listen to a little bit of the old Making Sense with Sam Harris. Again, not always, but if I want to have a little listen to something different, as well as Jordan B. Peterson. Again, two really articulated guys and very thoughtful guys. Now, whether you agree with them or whether you don't, it's good to listen to the other side, isn't it? To get an idea what is going on in minds that are great thinkers. I know sometimes I have to have a dictionary beside me to understand the words. But again, it's another expression of learning. And the guys are thoughtful and they're positive. So I love that. If you like the Jordan Harbinger Show, I love this guy. I've emailed him a few times and he always replies, and he's such just a good, down-to-earth guy and natural. And when he has a conversation, and I mean a real conversation, I think those episodes are absolutely brilliant. So have a listen to that. And then the last one, it's not the last one, but one I just found a little while ago. And it's Think Fast, Talk Smart. Talk Smart. It's a lovely podcast, and it's all about teaching you how to have a conversation, how to talk, how to communicate. And it gives you some wonderful little tips. And they're not just little tips. They're real solid things that you go, oh, wow. Oh, I know that and I'm bloody not doing it. Well, we talk about that a lot, don't we? On the longer podcast, all the stuff that I don't do and want to do more of. So there's that. And also, if you really want just a little bit of a laugh, I also listen to the Monday morning podcast with Bill Burr. Again, if you want to hear somebody who can articulate, but in such a wonderful, well, I call it a wonderful way, a lot of swearing in it. That's awesome. But for me, don't care. It's awesome. But to have a guy who can just talk and talk and talk, I think it's an amazing skill. And just to listen to that, something to aspire to. Not necessarily the language. Everyone's different taste, but it is so good. And then if you go to Spotify, there's obviously the Joe Rogan, listen to a bit of that. And there's another one I've found, which is, I'll just find it now on my phone because it's such a good one. It's called the Ass Breaking Motivation Podcast. And if you want to listen to something that's just going to motivate you, he's got so many good speakers there who just go, some of them shout, some of them do shout at you a little bit. And I think sometimes that's maybe a bit too much. But if I'm getting a little bit down, I just want to get something in my ears that suddenly go, come on, Cluffy, let's get going. That's a great one. So there you go. If you have any podcasts that you think are really good, I'd love to hear from them or hear about them. So if you could send me an email on feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com, I'd love to hear them so I can have a route around and we can share them too. And I think it's so good there's so much information around, yet do we get overwhelmed, and it's good to have other people sift about for us and go, do you know what, I've listened to this and it's really good. It's a bit like when you get a book. Sometimes it's nice to read the reviews and find actually not quite what I was thinking. You get a balanced view of it. So there you go. That's just a few things. I just like to share things, what I'm listening to, and I think if you listen to those, as well as this podcast, obviously, there's such a wealth of learning there. And they all seem to be looking after little old planet Earth and trying to do something for all of us. And that theme is something that I'm really powerfully attracted to. And I want it in my life. So hopefully that helps. Just something to share, a bit lighthearted this time, and enjoy. Press the play button on every podcast you can get. And what I would say is, though, and the things I try to do is make bloody notes so you can remember the good stuff, the golden nuggets, because there's golden nuggets put around everywhere. Okay. Anyway, till the next time, my friend, I will see you, or you'll hear from me. Come to my mind of the personal development unplugged kind. Time to fly. Bye-bye. So before you leave this unplugged mind of mine, this hypnotic mind, if you enjoyed this podcast or any of the other podcasts, please do subscribe. It helps this podcast grow and affect so many more people. And we love to leave everyone in a better place than we found them, and this will help the podcast. It will help you, and it will help, well, everyone that you know. So if you could just subscribe and share this podcast to everyone you blooming well know. That's the only cost. Pay it forward to everyone, and when you do that, boom, we are all going to make a difference to this little old planet Earth of ours and the people in it. But let's make a good world, a nice world. Okay, you can now prepare to leave this unplugged mind.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.